Thanks for still staying with us on the course of the program. Of course, we're still discussing Sepp Blatter, a hero or a villain. And of course, I have two wonderful young men who are not taking it lightly with themselves on this issue. As we talk sport, Nigeria, of course, looking at the scandal rocking FIFA and the resignation of the president who has ruled for 16 years in person of Sepp Blatter, or you say Joseph Sepp Blatter. Now, we just looked at the lessons that the Nigerian Football Federation should learn from FIFA. Okay, another lesson is what can NFF learn from FIFA in terms of election conduction and all the things that they should really learn.
Okay, 1 minute before we move down to NFF. Looking at the election conducted by FIFA some days ago, it was a secret ballot, which I think was wrong for me. It should have been an open system. Now, for NFF, I think it should be transparent. Maybe they should be transparent for once and elect the right people in position. Because you look at the Nigerian Football Federation as a whole, you say a man who has a former minister of Agric coming to hold football and probably handle football matters in Nigeria. How do you expect so to go? So putting the right people in position, number one, would move Nigerian football forward, and two, conducting a transparent election, let the world know, then you would have a good footballing system in Nigeria. But I don't see that happening in the next 10 years, except some certain people are sacked. And I would mention name. One, the sport minister, Tammy Dagugo, for me, has been a failure. Yes. Two, Amaju Pinike's tenure, well, let's still give him a chance, but I still think doing the right thing at the wrong time has cost Amaju Pinike at this point in time. I'm not trying to save anyone at this place in time. I'm trying to expose it to the world, because this is what Nigerians need to know. And we can't continue hiding under the shadow that, yes, they tried. You can do better. And that's one thing I'm trying to talk to my colleague. You see, Sepp Blatter, yes, tried, but he should have done better, because the football deserves more than that.
Julien, what are your thoughts?
I think for the first time on this show, I want to agree to what he has said. Not that he's totally right, but to an extent, he has been able to speak my mind. But just to buttress his point, when you talk about organized settings in senior climes, you talk about Europe, South America, and Atewe. But when you talk about elections, particularly held in Nigeria, you don't see a lot of transparency. Now, you see a situation whereby perhaps we are running for a particular post, he wins or I wins, and the other person is going to court. The issue is, starts going on and on and on and on for a very long time. One person is ruling for a particular time, and the next year the other one is going back to court. That one will be evicted as the current president and all of that. You don't get to see such organized settings, and that's why I feel the NFF should take a cue from that. We know how Amaju Pinike came into power. It was a very long process. At some point, we felt he would no longer be the NFF president. At some point, we thought it would be Chris Giwa, do you know of Giwa FC club in Nigeria? At some point, we thought it to be someone else. So I feel that election is not free and fair right here in the NFF, and that's one major area they should improve. And in terms of transparency, yes, FIFA might not be that clean in that aspect, but as an association, as an organized setting, you will have to be transparent in your dealings. Let the public know what you get and how you spend it. For example, when you go for a major tournament, Nigerians, this was how much you got, this was how much FIFA gave us, this was how much CAF gave us, and this was how we spent the money. There was a proper accountability and transparency, especially in financial dealings. So we'll not start hearing issue of corruption. Yes, it will still rear its ugly head any way you look at it, but at least there's a way this could be reduced to the barest minimum, and that's where I feel that the NFF should learn lessons from that.
And to add to that, I mean, looking at FIFA, I mean, they have this issue with government interference. Now, because once the government interferes in any of the matter, trust me, so many things will be exposed. Right now, the only reason why the FBI probably had an easy access to FIFA to investigate them was that one journalist from Swiss was being interviewed in 2011 who probably exposed FIFA to the government. So it would be a case of, I would say, a journalist trying to expose FIFA. That was why the government had an opportunity to probably investigate them at this point in time. So right now, FIFA saying no government interference. That's why you still have some ex-presidents of the NFF and current president of the NFF still go away with what they do. Now, for government interference, I think is one thing FIFA should support if they want transparency, and that is what I'm still fighting for. Government interference for me, and things will be going on well.
All right, now let's look at still on Nigeria. Why do you think local investors or our local league is not so attractive to investors?
It's simple. When you have, I mean, I want to watch maybe a film right now, and I can put on the switch on to probably, let me not mention names of station, an American movie right now where I know when they shoot a gun, it looks like it's real. When you shoot a gun in Nigeria here, you know it's knockout. I mean, put it that way. I won't go for the foreign movies. Now, the only reason why football hasn't grown in this place, one, is that it is not attractive. You can't play a league on sand and expect me to watch when I can watch a Lionel Messi running about and the fans cheering. Before the UEFA Champions League final, you have up to, in a stadium of 80,000 capacity, you have up to 40,000 people in the stadium 5 or 6 hours before a tournament. But in Nigeria here, before a game, 10 minutes before the game, out of 1,000, let me put it at 1,000 capacity, you have up to maybe 60 people seated. So you look at that, it has to be attractive for you to attract people to come. It's the job of the LMC, the local league management, they have to do things right. But I must say at this point in time, they are improving because we've seen some changes in that. Let's just hope in the next 5 years, we should have a better league. But first, they have to make it look attractive for them to have local investors to come in.
All right.
Well, it starts from the administration. Now, when football is run administratively, things will definitely go on right. Now, you talk about the Nigerian league. When we went to the break, I was trying to compare it side by side with the South African league, which happens to be one of the best leagues you have in Africa. Okay. Now, why is it that if you watch a game between Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, these are clubs in South Africa, you see over 80,000 people in the stadium. And when you have Enyimba and Kano Pillars playing right here in Nigeria, you have less than 2,000-3,000 people in the stadium. It's because our league is not branded. We don't have what it takes right now to attract those sponsorship. Now, one of the reasons why you see the South African league is what it is. Apart from the crowd, you see the stadium, like he has mentioned. I mean, the stadium must be top-notch. The grass must be lush green. That's what you see in the South African league. And that's why it really didn't take them much time to renovate their stadium, because what they had on ground was already even good enough to even host a tournament. Perhaps not as big as FIFA World Cup, but that stadium they had currently at that point could host a tournament. But you ask yourself, when Nigeria wanted to host the Under-17 World Cup in Nigeria, I know how long it took them to start renovating stadium. All the stadiums we have right here in Nigeria were in bad conditions.
All right.
You know, we play our games normally at,
you mean our stadiums are in terrible conditions?
Terrible
and you
conditions.
think NFF is not doing well to...
I mean, they're putting a blind eye to it, and it's very, very wrong. You don't have to be awarded a hosting right for a tournament before you start, attending to your stadiums. You ask yourself, how many stadiums in Nigeria are top-notch, are FIFA standard, or have CAF standard, that a team like, let me not even say Chelsea, let's say a very lower team in Europe can even come to our stadiums right here and play. But trust me, 2 seasons ago, Super Sports United played a club in South Africa. They played a game against, I think, Chelsea or thereabout. So if Chelsea can go to South Africa for a tour after the regular season and play a friendly game, why would you think Chelsea will find it difficult to come right here to an Abuja stadium and Uyo stadium to play a game, because the stadiums are not,
well, this has nothing to do with the NFF. It depends on the LMC, that's the league management company, to do their job. And I must say kudos to them because they've improved. Before, you see referees, bad officiating has been an issue in Nigerian professional, but right now we've improved because we've seen 4 or 5 referees this season being banned.
Okay.
And I think that's an improvement. Before, you see players using one jersey for probably a season, they have to wash their jerseys by themselves. These are stories we've confirmed from players, but right now it's not the case. You see dry cleaners coming in to give these guys their jerseys before match. We see money being paid, not being paid, I beg your pardon, before, for probably 2-3 seasons, signing off fees, not still paid, but it has reduced to an extent. So I would say the league management company is doing enough, but they can improve better in terms of getting adequate support.
Let's move over to FIFA now. There are speculations that Atewe would likely take over from Sepp Blatter. So what do you make of Atewe's candidature to fill into this very big shoes that Julien actually mentioned?
If Atewe takes over, then I think I'll be one person that won't not only talk sports again, I won't watch football, because I think we're heading to doom if Atewe takes over, because even the small part, talking about CAF, 54 countries you've been on, able to manage it, so why take over the big shoes? But I don't even see Atewe get into that position. I think it's going to be between talking UEFA president, Platini, or probably Van Praag, or maybe Albin is saying. But yesterday he was interviewed by international station. Will he come back? He said it depends on the fans if they want him back. And I'm actually looking at the fans he has, because I'm not one of them. Because as an Islamist, you fighting for a job for female players, for me, You don't bring that to football. I mean, with all due respect to all Muslims out there, I mean, it's their religion, but trust me, when it comes to football, you have to be playing in that one. So I don't see Ben Alin coming into position, but I think it's going to be between Van Praag and also Michel Platini. If Platini takes over, then I think football will grow.
Okay,
Julien? I think it's going to be more open. From this position, I won't tell you if this person comes in, it will be like this. If this person comes in, it will be like this. Because everyone comes in with his manifesto.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know. Figo said if he wins, he will extend the World Cup to 42 countries and all of that. Everyone came in with their own different manifesto. So since that's the only criteria we could judge them upon, I believe let's wait until when the extraordinary Congress is called on by the current president. He's still the president, even though we don't want him to be there, he's still the president.
Okay.
Sepp Blatter. Definitely favorites to emerge. Platini is one of them. Van Praag is one of them. But I just, why I'm excited about Blatter's resignation. The election is going to be much open than it used to be before, and then it's going to be an election whereby it's going to be difficult for you to know who is going to win. Just like general elections we had right here in Nigeria. So I feel it even makes it more exciting. I mean, it makes it more mind-blowing, and the suspense is, it's more. I mean, it's higher than it was, because I always knew Sepp Blatter would win. The moment Van Praag pulled out, Figo pulled out, everyone was pulling out.
I mean, in 2007, he had no contestant.
Even Platini, he came in as UEFA president unopposed. Same thing with CAF president Issa Hayatou. So Hayatou from this position, I wouldn't want to say he doesn't stand a chance, because as far as FIFA is concerned, you can never say never. Anything is possible of happening.
Okay.
But if you're talking about one of the favorites, you might not want to lean towards Hayatou.
Okay.
That's just the way it is.
All right, now, there are actually different reasons why a lot of sport analysts would say Sepp Blatter resigned. Now, one of it is the fact that the FBI is currently investigating him. Do you see Sepp Blatter coming out clean of this investigation?
If he comes out clean, then, well, let me not say this on there. If he comes out clean, I think I would, I'm saying it right on there, I will sweep from here to Ibadan. I'll sweep the whole third mainland bridge till we get to Ibadan. I must confess, if he comes out clean, I don't see him coming out clean. Don't forget, Mohamed Aman was being banned from football for life in 2011 and threatened to expose Sepp Blatter, but that case was swept under the carpet. And why? I mean, think about it. 3 days after election, you come out to resign. Something is fishing. I must say so, but it's a good one, according to my colleague, that Sepp Blatter has resigned. But trust me, after investigation, if he doesn't go to jail, then I think something was missing.
What do you think?
I think it's going to come out clean. It's going to come out clean. And the reason
Are you saying Joseph will have to sweep the whole of Ibadan?
He won't do it, I'm sure he would. He won't do it. Even Maradona also said the same thing. He run around Argentina naked and all of that. And he didn't do that. I mean, we've seen... it's always exciting to make such promises, but when a reality dawns
well, some people trek for Buhari and Jonathan.
I mean, when reality dawns on you, then you realize the magnitude of what you've said. But having said that, I feel Sepp Blatter will still come out clean. You ask yourself, for someone that's been in power for 16, 17 years, how come he has not been investigated? Is it now that he's resigning with all these FBI investigations here and there? People are coming out to cry foul. The likes of, what's his name right now? The man you mentioned. Chucks Blazer and the other guys who are saying they will expose Sepp Blatter. If there's no concrete evidence, do those people have concrete evidence? But we spoke about Amos Adamu. You know why he was jailed, why he was banned from football? Because there was a video evidence that showed everything he did, how he was collecting bribe and all of that. And Sepp Blatter's hands were tied. There's nothing he could do.
But maybe that's where I need to correct maybe Julien. I'm coming. Because as a leader, you should know everything happening beneath you.
Okay.
That's the hallmark of a great leader. You can't come out and say Sepp Blatter will be clean. He knows nothing about bribes being collected. He knows nothing about the money being missing as a leader. Then I think something is wrong. That means you can't handle such position. And after 16 years and approximately 30 years with FIFA, and you come out and say you will come out clean, so many cases, even in 1992, Sepp Blatter was involved as far as 1992. So look at all this and say Sepp Blatter can never come out clean. If he does, then he has mismanaged FIFA and he should be jailed. I think we should not be assertive right here. If you say we never, then it means you've seen ahead of the investigation. I think we have to be very cautious in our assertions, in our opinions regarding an investigation. I mean, any way you look at it, it's a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
I'm not being assertive that he will come out clean.
No, you just said he will come out clean.
Because the signs are even there. But for the sake of those that do not know what he has really done, what the investigation is all about, we still need to be on the safer side. We still want to sit on the fence like people normally say and just wait until the end of the investigation. Okay, let's just drift away from Sepp Blatter. Let's talk about Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is the best athlete we have right now in the world. He's not investigated. People think he's winning. He's not taking a banned substance, performance enhancing drugs, and all of that. Now, ask yourself, if Usain Bolt comes under investigation right now, what do you think is going to be the verdict? Everyone would think his skin will come out clean and all of that. That's why I say from this position, it's a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
You know, it's a 50-50 thing. And let's just wait till the investigation is completed.
All right, before we round off on the show now, let's just come down to our own very country, Nigeria now. Now, for you, how can we better reform the business aspect of sport in the country?
Well, it's simple. I've said it before. I think if we get the right people in position, things will work out well.
Okay.
Then it boils down to administration. When administratively sports is well run, then you would attract sponsors. When those sponsors see the benefits they stand to gain from partnering with you. I mean, the sponsors FIFA has, the sponsors CAF has. One of the reasons why CAF might not have as much sponsors as FIFA has is because they themselves are not an organized body. So if the NFF, those running football, are organized, if they could be accountable and transparent in their dealings, then I feel that sponsors will want to tend towards supporting the cause of taking Nigerian football to the next level.
And to add to that, for us to have a better league like that we have in Europe and also in South Africa, maybe we should start with South Africa. I think it's at that point I think clubs should be owned by private owners, not by government. Because you see, whenever there's change in government, some certain governors don't like football. Like Enyimba, for instance, it was under OG. I think they had the best in 2003, 2004 when they won the CAF Champions League back to back. You had a governor who was supporting football, who loved football. So I think when government hands off a club football here and it's being owned by private owner, maybe it's been owned by private individuals or something, then we will have a better league. Because one, they will be able to take care of such a club and pay their players regularly. I think they need to start paying these players regularly. Because you can imagine someone working for you 4 or 5 months, you've been owned, you won't give in your best.
All right. Now, what are your future projections for FIFA?
Well, I see it depends on who a successor would be. It depends on who is successor will be. Let us wait for the election to be concluded before I can say FIFA is heading the right way or the wrong direction.
Well, if I want to be optimistic, I would say I want to see FIFA better than what it is right now, because I'm a lover of football, and I believe millions of football followers out there want the best for FIFA and want the best for football as it were. Because if we have the right people in FIFA, definitely it's going to spread across all continents. It's going to spread across all countries. Every country will have one or two benefits to gain from FIFA being what it should be. It's not the best, and it can be better. And I also want to agree to what he has said, that up until before the election is being held, that's when we can say, okay, this is the direction FIFA is heading, whether they are heading towards the right direction or they are heading towards the wrong direction. But for now, as long as Sepp Blatter is still in charge, I just hope he at least leaves more like a long-lasting legacy, something that football followers around the world want to hold on to and say, okay, he left on a good note, he left on a positive
All right. So as a round off now, I want to ask the $50 question. You have to bring up your strong point. Is Sepp Blatter a hero or a villain?
Well, for me, I think he's a villain. Yeah, because how do you describe a good leader? I think when you've been in power for, and let's come back to Nigeria, some would say Jonathan was a failure. I mean, he spent more than 8 years in power. He didn't do a lot. You want to agree to them to an extent that 8 years you should have probably put smiles on the faces of Nigerians. You should have at least done enough for them to praise you. Now, for a man that has been in power for 16 years as the president and 30 years as a member of FIFA, we expected more from you, or we expect more from you. But right now, we've seen the flaws, which are more than what he has achieved. I think, for me, is a villain.
It's not how long, because Joseph is, basing it on how long you have spent in an organization. It's not how long you spent in an organization. You could stay in an organization for, let's say, 5 years. I could stay in an organization for, let's say, 2 years, and I could achieve more than you have. Now, it's not anyone's fault that Sepp Blatter has been in FIFA for over 30 years. You know, for major part of his life, he has been with FIFA. For the fact that he's with FIFA, it means he has had major contributions to what FIFA. You can't talk about FIFA right now and you won't mention Sepp Blatter. It's not possible. Except you do not want to give credit to who credit is due. That's when you say he's a failure. So on that premise, I feel Sepp Blatter is a hero.
Okay, he's been unable to manage his team. Now, why do you say he's an hero? Maybe you should give me 1 or 2 points for me that why he's an hero.
You've only mentioned corruption, and I've explained to you several times, you know, that corruption is not only in FIFA. Corruption is in CAF, corruption is in UEFA. Now, it's a situation of pot calling kettle black. You know, fingers are pointing towards Blatter, but those people pointing towards Blatter also gives you the same thing. So,
all right,
there's more to it.
You both have your opinion. One thinks is a hero, the other thinks is a villain. You know, gentlemen, it was really nice having you on the show today. I personally enjoyed myself, so I'm hoping to have you some other time on the show. You could have a gentleman handshake. And of course, Joseph, would you really be sweeping the whole of you?
I would. I made a promise. I made a promise.
Trust me, you won't.
No, I made a promise when Arsenal was to take on Arsenal. I said I was going to walk without my shirt down to Lagos Island, but it didn't happen. If what happened?
If Arsenal did that,
no, if Chelsea had defeated Arsenal, but they didn't.
All right. Thank you very much. It was nice having you on the program. Okay, so this is where we'll round off with the guest on the show today. Do well to join me after the break for a proper round of off the show. Thank you once again, guys.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
And this is where we call it a day on Core Digest. You know, of course, we discuss something very interesting, especially to sport lovers out there. And as many as who do not really know about what is happening in FIFA right now, of course, the sport analysts projected that they see a better future for FIFA as the president, who has ruled for 16 years, currently resigned. Do well to join us on Core Digest for more exciting topics as we keep you abreast of happenings around you. And of course, do well to educate you on issues that you need to know more about. My name is Omotayolo. Thanks for joining me on the program. Do well to join us tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best. 2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news spreads. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
News, a 24-hour news station.